Yo, what's going on, everyone? Miles Midoriya here with a recap and review of Spy Family Season 1, Episode 16. The episode started out with the family at home. Lloyd was mentioning that Yor has been coming home late, but they aren't close enough to pry into each other's affairs, so he doesn't ask about it. Anya asked him what was for dinner, and he said they'll make something once Yor's home, and she tries to figure out what they're going to eat for dinner by using Bond's powers. I'm like, come on, you don't want to overuse his powers. I know it comes in handy, but let him rest a little. Yor comes home and Lloyd notices her gleam look and the cuts on her fingers. My first thought was maybe it was possibly from a mission, but then I thought it could have been from cooking. She told him she wasn't hungry and went to her room. Bond's powers might not have worked right then and there, but it worked for when she got home. It was a prediction of Yor crying, and Anya was wondering what could have caused this. Later on, we see Yor at work and then coming out of a store carrying a bag, and she gets to a house. While she's there, the bag is dripping, so I guess she might have held it a little bit too tight, and it's actually her co-worker's house, Camilla. They both had a serious look on their face. I was like, what's about to go down here? Until Camilla told Yor that the tomatoes in the bag was squashed, and she freaked out a little over it. Then came in Dominic, who Camilla blames for the whole situation. The reason she's at her house, we learned through a flashback that Yor had asked her co-workers to help her with her cooking skills. The reason is because the breakfast she made Lloyd the other day had him lock himself into the bathroom all day. Also, she doesn't want to lose her family and her job, but we all know the reason what really happened. He wasn't in that bathroom all day. He was out there on a mission. One of the co-workers says she has a housekeeper that handles that. Camilla rejected, and the other one literally says she opens canned food. I already knew what time it was after she said that one. You have to know how to cook something. You can't just keep relying on the canned foods. That's when Dominic came in and said that Camilla's cooking is good. She asked her again, and Camilla rejected, but Dominic said they'll all meet at her place. Back in the current time, she's yelling at Dominic saying that he's going to be the taste tester because he's the reason why she's there and she's helping her cook. But he said he called someone else who was Yor's brother, Yuri. Camilla even noticed that they acted a little bit different. Once he found out she was taking cooking classes for Lloyd, he got mad real quick, like, not for this dude. They laid out all the ingredients and Camilla told her to start peeling the potatoes, and man, them things was non-existent after she got done with that. Camilla yelled at her about it, and then she said, this weapon is too difficult to use. She literally called that a weapon. Next, she had to cut up some meat. That didn't go well. Then was a vegetable, and she ended up cutting through the cutting board, which was Camilla's favorite, so she put a little bit too much strength into that last one. Camilla told her, how could you even marry the guy? Get out of here. Her brother's voiceover was like, why is she being rude to my sister? Then she told her you should just give up and get a divorce. That part Yuri did agree with, no hesitation. Yor didn't want to give up. She was still determined, and Camilla seemed to notice that along with her brother. She agrees to keep helping her out. That's when Dominic says she is a nice woman, though she can be cynical. Yor agreed that she is nice. When we first seen Camilla, she was rude and mean, but in this episode, she seems pretty cool. She ended up making some food, and that thing didn't look edible at all. You shouldn't serve that to anyone. Yor's brother did enjoy it, although Camilla did notice he was eating it and spitting it out at the same time, so she was wondering if it was good at all. I don't know, maybe that's just because his sister and he got used to her cooking, or he was being nice. But guess who had to try it next? Dominic and Camilla. And you know what happened? They immediately fell to the floor. They should have known better not to try that. I know they gotta be taste testers and make sure that she cooks good food, but nah, not that one. Camilla got back up mad and eventually told her maybe that was a little bit too much. They should try something easier like making meatballs. Yeah, you know, that sounds easy. You can't possibly mess that up. Yeah, she did mess it up. Of course, her brother was the first to eat it. He started to turn a whole nother color in the face, and he said the taste reminded him of his childhood. Dominic told him, whoa, slow down, calm down. I don't blame Dominic. He just trying to make sure he don't get sick. That's when Camilla had remembered about Yor didn't have parents, and she lived together with her only brother, saying to her they both eat this kind of food and had developed terrible taste buds. That is true. They both developed taste buds eating that food. And Yor did say she thought it was fine as long as he got his nutrition, which means she must have been cramming food together. Camilla asked Yor if she remembers any food that their parents made them, and they remembered some kind of stew that their mother made, and the stew did look delicious. That's what they began to start making, and Camilla's right by her side giving her some instructions. Camilla had looked at Yor and said that the air around her has changed. Before, she looked like a robot with a bored face. She said maybe it's because she got married. Even though her and Lloyd have their reasons for being married in a way, it could be doing good for both of them outside of their reasons, and it's nice to see. The food this time around looks to be coming along nicely. Even Dominic commented that it smelled good compared to before. They do a taste test, but it's still something missing. Camilla asked Yor where was she from. She told her, and she went into the refrigerator, found some sour cream, and added that, and that's what made it pop more. Yor left Camilla's house and came back home to cook for her family. The look on their face when she said that was like, wait, what? Once again, the food is turning out good. Lloyd and Anya began to taste test. Lloyd was like, it smells safe. Anya said, Last Supper. That got me wondering, what was she feeding y'all before? They tasted the food and they actually liked it. She started crying a little. It showed bond, so this moment right here was the one that they saw earlier of her crying. Yor was relieved it turned out well, saying that in order for her to keep working as an assassin, she thought she had to protect her second life. But to be acknowledged by those people, to have them smile, it simply makes her happy. She told Lloyd she gained some confidence both as a wife and a mother of the Forger family, so Lloyd told her that he'll be counting on her from here on out. At this point, I thought she was done with the food. She should have quit while she was ahead. She had one more dish that was her own original recipe. Since the first one was good, they didn't mind trying it at all. What do you think happened next? They fell to the floor. Why did they have to push it? The last part of the episode is about Frankie trying to get advice from Lloyd about talking to his crush, and Lloyd was not trying to hear that. He thought it was something important happening. Frankie told him he would tip the police off about him. At this point, I said, bruh, him and Yor make a good couple because the faces they make. He had that, what did you just say face? He told him he was joking. They go sit down at a cafe. Frankie breaks down all the details he had on her, and I mean all the details. Lloyd looked at him and called him a stalker. This dude was making sure he had all the info. Lloyd wrote down on a piece of paper some different conversation scenarios. He did not want to memorize it, so Lloyd disguised himself as her just to test him out and see how it would go. After that, he decided he was going to go talk to her. We see Frankie go and talk to her, and in the next scene, we see Lloyd walking with his family. They're going to the athletic store for Anya. She's actually the one who spots Frankie across the street. Frankie said he successfully invited her and that they would go watch a movie together someday. While he's talking, Anya starts to hear what he's thinking, and we see her tap his hand. It looks like she feels sorry for him. She got like a tear coming down. All Frankie said was, "What?" And Lloyd looked like he didn't buy what he was saying and that he knew something didn't go right. Frankie's in a bar, and we hear him say what she told him, which was she said no because of his face. Man, I know that had to hurt. He orders another drink, and it wasn't the one he ordered, and we actually see Lloyd next to him. He said, "Fancy seeing you here." We know why he's there. He knew it didn't turn out well, and he just wanted to check up on him. He's a good friend. Frankie asked him about his family, and he said he left Yor to go to the athletic store with Anya. He told Frankie that, just like he said, even if he could date her, things wouldn't go so smoothly. I'm guessing that's because of their job. Frankie told him hearing that from a guy who has a wife and a kid doesn't help at all, and he said it's for a mission. Frankie told him that he'll be drinking a lot with his money today. Lloyd said he didn't mind, and that's where the episode ends. Overall, it was a nice episode. It was cool to get an episode mostly of Yor and her working to improve her cooking and her being happy afterwards that everything went well, except for that last dish she gave them. And the funny moments with Frankie. I felt bad for him, but you know it happens sometimes. With that being said, I can't wait to check out next week's episode. Comment below what did you think about the episode and what was your favorite part from it. Thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.